is Tyler from the band called 2 a.m. Club, and I am drinking some vanilla almond tea and sitting in New York City.
I thought you were going to say you were drinking something else, but leave it at that.
I keep it low-key. This will be my second cup of tea today. I started with a mint tea, and now I'm moving on to vanilla almond, which is actually not usually my style, but I'm looking to try new things on this fine day.
That's good. And you want to just tell us a little bit about what 2 a.m. Club is all about? 2
a.m. Club is a band that originally started about 3 or 4 years ago in Los Angeles. And a couple of the guys, Mark and Matt, grew up together in San Francisco, and Dave and I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and we met up down in Cali, and Mark and I had a mutual friend, and so we sort of knew each other, knew that we were both musically interested, and so started kind of low-key just writing some songs together in LA, and didn't necessarily have a game plan other than let's have some fun and write some songs. And initially I was sleeping on Mark and Matt's couch, and then we started just playing shows and sort of made it more of a band rather than an idea, and then came out to New York and wrote a bunch of songs, and then put out our first album this past September, and we've been sort of on the road and touring ever since.
And if you were to talk to your past self, like when you were first starting out this band, and you were telling them you've been on Lopez Tonight and you're this real serious band now, would they believe it?
You know, if I were to have a conversation with my past self, other than being frightened that I was having a conversation with the future, yeah, I mean, I think I always was very, very serious, and I was always into writing as a youngster, and eventually, you know, into writing songs and putting words together. And I think that when I met with Mark, we were both, you know, sort of hustling and trying to make a living at this music thing. So we were very serious, and I think I've always been a big believer in the fact that, you know, if you're just 100% committed to something and you're into it, to have fun and to work hard, that you can kind of make it happen. And so I think that I would believe that I would you know, be still running around and you know, hopefully the same conversation with me 5 years down the road from now would be a similar thing, because anything you know you work hard at and you're into, I think you can make the world happen.
So now you'd be talking to your future self as well.
Yes. There's 8 me's, and we're each on the party line phone call having a conversation.
Hey, you can make your own band just out of that.
We would have severe identity crises.
And when people hear the name 2 a.m. Club, what do you want them to immediately think of?
You know, I mean, something fresh and something different, and something that is very, very, you know, impacted by the generation of kids who grew up listening to everything. And I think we're all just sort of those kids who love, you know, rock music and love hip-hop music and love pop music, and sort of we're at the intersection of all those different worlds, and I think it's so pertinent. I think that right now everything is online and on YouTube and on your iPad and your iPod and whatever, and so you have all these, you know, different things coming at you a million miles an hour all day, every day. And I think that we started out, you know, at the beginning of that sort of cultural shift where, you know, it's a little bit the ADD generation, and everything, you know, everything is everything. And I think that's where we write, and that's where we come from as musicians and as people. And so I think, you know, we're just some kids writing songs in 2011.
Social networking like Facebook and YouTube is such a big part of becoming a band today, so do you use it to your best advantage?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it makes it so, you know, everything is immediate, and everything is, you can put something out there and just get some instant feedback. And so, like, literally this morning, we were discussing what we're going to be doing, touring, you know, the next 6 months or so. And so I just posted it up, you know, on our Facebook and said, who should we be out on the road with, to sort of get the pulse of what people are listening to and what people that are listening to us would like to see at a show. And so then you can get this immediate response. And so, you know, we're big advocates and users of Twitter and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
and also just not only using those, you know, to talk to everybody, but using those to talk to individuals. And I think that's cool because, you know, we're people that are writing songs, and these are the people that are listening to the songs, and so for there not to be a dialogue would be sort of an odd disconnect.
No, a couple of weeks ago you guys were on Lopez Tonight, so what was it like? What was that whole experience like?
It was fun. It was really fun. We hadn't been out to LA in a while, so that's always cool. And then George Lopez is hilarious and extremely talented, and just watching, I mean, some of the coolest stuff for me was watching them rehearse before the show and run through some of the jokes and run through what they were going to be doing, because it was constantly changing, and it was, you know, George Lopez saying, let's switch this or let's alter this to make it a little funnier, or to make this part more interesting, or whatever, and down to the last minute. And I think stuff like that you don't always know, you don't always get to see, but people like him and people like that are just extremely talented musicians and you know, comedians, put in a ton of work and a ton of effort behind the scenes, and so that was cool. But then also we got to, you know, meet Kenny G backstage and Idris Elba, who a couple of the guys are huge fans of the show The Wire. So it was fun, and we got to be little kids and, you know, take pictures and then just, you know, play some music. And that was the coolest part, is that they have a really good vibe around their performances, and so it's not your standard sort of stale TV show, you know, performance. It's like a, you know, they've got a great light show, and the crowd was really, really involved, so it was fun. And that's a big thing for us, is just having the show have that energy that we have, you know, every night. So being able to translate that on a TV performance like that is always rare and exciting.
Are you one of those bands that definitely feed off the crowd's energy?
Yeah, I would say 1,000,000%. I would say the, you know, the crowd and us are doing this tango every show, and sometimes, you know, maybe we misstep or they misstep or whatever, but in the end we're just trying to dance and have that be fluid motion between us and the crowd, and vice versa.
And I know your single "Let Me Down Easy" is on the radio, so where were you the first time you ever heard it on the radio?
A station in Canada. I'm sorry, I think Montreal was the first station that I heard spin it, and it was really cool because they were doing one of those sort of like face-off between two songs, and I forget what the song was, but I was listening, and they did a little face-off and said, here's some new music from 2AM Club, and here's some new music from someone else, etc. And then I remember later on Twitter, I saw like a bunch of kids posting and being like, oh, you guys won the little face-off, so stuff like that. And I'm sure it was because, you know, kids were supporting and calling in and telling, you know, the station that they dug the song. So I think even in this age of you know, the internet and YouTube or whatever, the radio station still will listen when you call in or you know, let them know that you want to hear an artist. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys seem to have a really supportive fan base backing you there.
That's the thing that keeps us going. Anytime that we are just having a bad day or a bad week or feeling weird, you know, life-wise or writing-wise or whatever, you know, you got kids that are out there and that are waiting, and, you know, what's the next song going to be? What are you guys writing about? What's happening these days? And so I think that's cool, and I think that is something that we, you know, could never take for granted, because there's a million artists out there, and it takes, you know, it's hard work to be following and when they're inundated with everything all day, every day, to be following our stuff. So we appreciate it.
Party Pooper 101 on Twitter would like to know if you could tour in any country in the world, which would be in your top 3?
Wow, Party Pooper, huh?
Yeah, Party Pooper.
I don't know why they're being a Party Pooper, but any 3, we've traveled around the States so much, and we love it here, but I think we're ready this next year to get outside of the States, and I think, we definitely would love to go to a place like Spain. That's always been big, just on my list of places that I want to travel, but definitely through music. We'd love to get out to Spain, and I don't know, we've gotten a lot of support from like out in Indonesia, and so just checking out where people are talking about us, I think would be a big important thing, because we want to see these people, and if we don't ever get to visit, then it's it's not fun for either us or them. So and then I don't know, I think I've never been just over to like the UK, and I've always wanted to, and it's such a short trip from New York, so it's almost just lame on my part that I haven't hopped over there at least to see what's up. But soon enough, we'll get everywhere.
And if you choose to, this is your time to reveal all secrets. So what's something no one knows about your other bandmates?
No one knows about other bandmates?
Yeah, your other bandmates.
Okay, so this is like my chance to really like put someone's business out there.
Exactly.
I love that. That's fantastic. Let me see. I think that good little something. Sauce, our bass player, was a fantastic, attractive young man. He had a really, really funny job before being a part of this band, where he used to be like a professional MySpace friend adder, and so he was working for an artist at the time, and who shall not be named, and would literally add friends all day on MySpace, which is funny now because MySpace is sort of not necessarily at the pinnacle of social networking. But I always thought that was awesome and hilarious. And now I kind of wish that he would do that for us. So maybe I'll have to hire him and give him a side job.
Yeah, you should go make him do that on maybe Facebook now, since MySpace is pretty much dead.
Yeah, but at least I think that's what's cool though, is that at least on Facebook you can't really force somebody to like your page.
Yeah.
And so I think that makes it a little bit more sincere, that you have to literally get onto somebody's page and click like. So that's a little different. That's maybe why Facebook is kind of in right now.
And as for the rest of the year, what do you guys have planned?
We are just going to be on and off the road, and we're always writing new music, and we're really excited. We're going to do a secret couple days. We're going to head out to the country and then write some songs this weekend, which will be really, really fun, because anytime we get to write in a new environment, you never know what it's going to lead to. And running around, and we continue to be big advocates of, if you want us to come to your town or your school or college or whatever, just start up a little Facebook page or just hit us up, and you can make it happen. We've done countless shows just based on one or two people starting up a Facebook page that says have 2 AM Club, come out to such and such college or city or whatever. So that's our plan. What's up? How's it going? How's the day? Hit us up on Twitter and Facebook, and keep in touch. We'll see you soon.